the video of the day. I'm your host, Craig. Welcome to this edition of the video of the day. Now, when I was a kid, I remember Toys R Us. And I remember my real mom coming over. And I can't remember if it was my birthday or Christmas. But her and her husband took me to Toys R Us and bought me a bunch of stuff. One of them was a action figure. I can't remember what it was called, but he had like a plastic chest that was clear see-through, and on the back of him you could push the back of him, and it would show the blood pumping through his body. It was kind of cool. I remember I got that there, and it's probably still at my dad's out in the garage in one of my toy boxes. I don't know if it was still there or not. But I also got a little device. It was called You Drive It, I think. And it was this big square device that sat on the table, and it had a little steering wheel on it, and it had a little shifting lever over on the side, and it had a cardboard piece that laid over the top of it, and had a little magnet underneath it, and then the car that drove on top had a little magnet in it, and the piece of cardboard had roads on it. And then you would put it in gear, and then you would drive, and you'd try and keep the car on the roads. It was called You Drive It. I remember that thing. Man, I played that thing to death. I think I played with it. I think I played with it till eventually it completely died. But Toys R Us now going out of business. And over the years, as I watched Toys R Us, when I bought toys for my kids, we rarely went there. And I know that it was just the toys that you bought there were always just really expensive, and it was easier to get them at Kmart, Walmart, in Michigan, Myers. It was just easier to go there and buy the toys. They were cheaper, and of course, a few years ago, can't remember. It seems like it was the late 90s, maybe the early 2000s. You guys could probably help me out with that. KB Toys went out of business. And I look at the toys that kids get nowadays, and they're really, other than the stuff that's lasted, like Lincoln Logs. I used to have those when I was a kid. Legos. I never had those when I was a kid. My dad just didn't like them. He thought they were too expensive. And, of course, he was probably worried about them being left around on the floor and him stepping on them. But Legos, they still had those kind of things. Action figures. But today, playing with action figures isn't like it was back when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I had one thing to play with. It was called outdoors. Kids today, they've got phones like this, right? They got smartphones. And they play games on their phones. But, Toys R Us never did anything. It was always the same stuff. It was always just, toys. They never did anything creative, to try and keep their business on top. Now, I do remember when Toys R Us came up with Babies R Us. Remember Babies R Us? Babies R Us carried nothing but stuff for babies, cribs and stuff like that. But then Toys R Us going out of business. My wife went over to the Toys R Us near us, where we live, and bought all kinds of stuff for my son's video game that he plays at hugely discounted prices. Brand new stuff. He plays Skylanders. And they bought brand new stuff for a Skylanders game at really cheap prices. And he really made out like a bandit on that. But a lot of times, you can buy that stuff at Walmart cheaper. The next step in that is Amazon. And you can go to Amazon and get any of these toys that you want, and you don't have to go to Toys R Us. I don't know. Even when I was buying toys for my kids, we went to Toys R Us, but it was rare that we went to Toys R Us. Usually, if the kids wanted a certain toy and we couldn't find it anywhere else, we went to Toys R Us. Okay? Guy's backing out next to me. See? It always gets my attention when somebody's backing next to me. Like when you're trying to back into the dock and the guy next to you is trying to pull out. And you got your foot on the brake, you're stopped, but you look in the mirror, and of course your peripheral vision catches the truck next to you moving forward, and you think you're still going backwards. Kind of flips you out. That's why I kept looking that way. Anyway. But, yeah, I mean, like, when the kids wanted PlayStation games, we had PlayStation 2, and the kids wanted PlayStation games, and we couldn't find them at Walmart, we could always go to Toys R Us. And I know when I was a kid, we had an Odyssey video game system. I don't know if y'all remember the Odyssey. It was put out by Magnavox. It was a competition for the Atari and the Commodore. And I know we used to go to Toys R Us to buy the games for that. Because even if they didn't have the game, they could order it. But they never went anywhere. It was just easier to go to Walmart and buy toys. And toys today, like I said before, they're not what they used to be. Man, I used to go down the toy aisle, even as a young adult, and play with the toys, at Walmart. But it's like, these toys aren't fun anymore. Where's the fun in this toy? I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm growing up and I'm older. But anyway, I wanted something for this particular episode that was different from what I've been doing about complaining about, gun laws and all that other stuff. But what do you think about this deal with Toys R Us? Do you think you could have made Toys R Us last? What could Toys R Us have done to continue? And is Amazon, I mean, we're buying parts for the car. And we can go to O'Reilly's, we can go to AutoZone. We can go to Amazon and get the part just as cheap, and it's sent right to us. Like, we're looking for headlight lenses. The headlight lenses on our car are all I don't know what you'd call it, but they're coated. So when the lights are on, they aren't on that bright because there's like a coating on the light, and we can't get it off. We've tried everything, and so we're going to buy new lenses for it. Well, my wife, we went to O'Reilly's, and we went to AutoZone, and my wife went to Amazon. I was like, you get them cheaper on Amazon. How long do you think the retail world's going to continue to succeed with stores with deals like Amazon? Now, I'm going to wrap this up with a Walmart. Greg, you talk about Walmart. I can't help but talk about Walmart. I work for them. Well, I don't work directly for Walmart. I pull for Walmart. Walmart's got this new thing now. And I'm going to put up a picture at the end of the video, so even after I say goodbye, watch. I'll show you the picture of the cart. But they've got a thing on their carts now with some of the stores where you can put your phone. It's got a little holder for your phone. You put your phone on there, and then as you're going through the store and you're shopping, and you get the item off the shelf, you're going to buy it. You scan it with your phone and put it in your cart. Then, when you get up to the checkout, all you got to do is use your phone to check out, pay for it, and you're done. Because everything in your cart is already on the phone. It's kind of interesting. But I'll show you a picture of the cart. I've got one here. I'm going to show you a picture of the cart. But as my wife says, and I agree with her, that's called lazy. Everything is getting too easy to do. And, whether Toys R Us didn't step up to that easy way of life, and that's what caused their issues, or what, I don't know. But I'll tell you, I'm always going to be a Toys R Us kid. Specialty toys, you're going to have to go to Amazon now. Because if Walmart doesn't have it, you're going to have to go to Amazon and get it. Okay? All right, so I'm going to wrap up this edition of the video today. I'm going to get it on here, and get it posted. That was lunch. and get it on for you guys to watch. So hope you've enjoyed this edition of the video of the day. A little bit different than what I've been doing lately. So this is your host, Greg the Crazy Trucker, reminding you to comment, like, share this on any social media that you can. And until next time, see ya!